Anonymous person asks, are you a fan of cinema? No. To be honest, darling, I'm really not. I enjoy theatre. I enjoy watching something happening before my eyes. I find it a um, very moving experience. But with the cinema, I don't know, I can't feel it as strongly. And often the subjects just don't appeal to me. I'm not sort of, as much as I've enjoyed, a bit of martial practice in my day, I'm not so interested in watching sort of actors pretending to be able to do so many of these things. I find the extras in the movies who usually are very trained, um, they're fascinating, but sort of the actors that you're there to see often just don't really appeal. And there's not very many elven actors on the big screen, so it sort of loses some of its appeal. There's no sort of representation, darling, and I feel like it's a very sort of whitewashed, shall we say, market. It's almost exclusively humans, and they're all sort of from the same socio-economic background, and I just find the stories a little bit contrived and overblown. That's not to say that there aren't aspects of cinema that are amazing, or that all the craftsmanship that goes into them isn't something to appreciate. But I just don't sort of get into the final product. And so, although I'll enjoy, a few things, sort of period pieces or something about history, I find I'm very critical, and so it sort of loses its enjoyment for me, darlings, when we're spending half of the time sort of picking apart everything that's wrong with something. You don't really enjoy it. Um, so as not to sort of upset the people that may be around, I sort of stopped um, going to the cinema. And my son tells me that he can't stand to watch movies with me, which I understand. He sort of gets into the moment. He sort of forgets about reality altogether. But I sort of can't let go of that, and so as perhaps silly of me as that is, I just don't find it enjoyable. So I'm sorry if that's disappointing to anyone out there, but theatre, now that's something I can get behind 100%. So have a good evening, darlings, and ta-ta.